Today we're talking about one of the most underrated segment of RC hobbies, FPV wing racing, and why it deserves a bigger spotlight. Sadly, in recent years, the RC airplane community has really taken a backseat to quadcopters, or drones as the Karens call them. And most of my content centers around FPV freestyle drones, the ones you see flying around in abandoned buildings, or bandos as we call them. But it was really the love of airplanes that got me here. Airplanes are why I chose the career path I did, and airplanes are why I gave FPV a chance in the first place. FPV wing racing is a small subset of the RC airplane community, which is already pretty small. And if I'm being honest, I definitely had some preconceived thoughts of racing itself, the people that do it, and if it's really for me. But when a few friends convinced me to join them in flying some practice laps around a racetrack, I must admit, I get it now. As most of my audience knows, FPV freestyle at its core is an art form. It's all about getting that one line, that one trick that connects you with your machine to create something beautiful. Cool footage coupled with the perfect song gives one of the newest and most unique ways to express your creativity and invoke an emotion in your audience. Now, the concept of racing, on the other hand, is completely opposed to the vibe and culture of freestyle. It's prescribed, it's regimented, and it has that dose of competition that goes against what freestyle flying is all about. At least that's what I thought, until I tried it. Upon showing up to a wing racing event, you feel an energy. The energy not of rigid, fierce competition, but of like-minded people enjoying a beautiful day, doing something they love together. You take to the skies and complete lap after lap in a course that seems monotonous to the outside observer. But while spectators are strapped to their seat, anxiously watching as you zoom by just feet off the ground, the pilots in the goggles are in a different mindset. A state of flow. A state of intense concentration and connection to their machine. Just like FPV freestyle. The first thing I noticed about this type of flying is how long it takes to set up. What usually would take me about 5 minutes from the time I step out of the car to the time I'm in the air, took well over a half an hour to set up a course and get all the gear ready. But once it's set up, you really start to see what wing racing is all about. Takeoffs.
Oh God! I thought you were ready.
Nope. Takeoffs. High-speed passes, and crashes. It's all part of the experience. See, if you crash a drone, nobody really cares. They're made to be tough and resilient to damage. Everybody crashes drones. But if you crash an airplane, there's a 90% chance you will break something. It's a whole nother level of risk. And that's mainly because of how light they have to be in order to fly so efficiently for so long. So with all that crash anxiety, you'd think FPV wing racing isn't enjoyable or relaxing, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that it can be both. For those of you that are afraid of breaking something and aren't willing to learn basic RC repair skills, this might not be for you. But on the other hand, for those of you in this hobby that like a constant threat of danger, but you also like being in the flow state, and you need that adrenaline rush, I can't think of too many other things in this hobby that would satisfy you more than wing racing. It's something you might not understand until you've done it yourself, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like flying fast around a racetrack, lap after lap, trying to find that perfect racing line. The only other part of this hobby that compares with this feeling is FPV freestyle, and I never thought I would say that. Now, I realized pretty quickly that just like freestyle, you can't be afraid to crash if you want to be good. If you're constantly pulling out of sketchy situations, you'll never hit that new trick, and you'll never feel like you're progressing. On this day, I flew a Zod Dart XL wing for the course, and that was probably the worst possible choice. It's slow, docile, and about as maneuverable as a cinder block. The only thing it did well on a race course was to stay in the air longer than anyone else's plane. I mean, I would hope so, right? It's a long-range plane. But maybe that was good for me, being Washington's newest wing racer. And the real reason I brought that up, though, is to tell you that you don't need a fancy plane to try FPV wing racing. You could even throw a shitty 25 milliwatt camera VTX combo thing on your Horizon Hobby Piper Cub and have an absolute blast. There's not just one tool for the job. That being said, wings are pretty damn cheap. And they're pretty damn durable too, so it might not be a bad idea to pick one up anyways. If you want to see a true expert wing pilot, check out Shelby Vole. He's been in the game for a long time now, and the dude is a monster. The things he can do with a wing look impossible to do with a wing. He even makes FPV freestyle wing videos. That just sounds impossible. I'll end this monologue with something I learned filming this video. Just because you think you might not like something because the people that do it doesn't mean it's not worth trying. Don't judge people, don't judge activities, and be open to trying new things, especially in this hobby, where it's ever evolving and there's always something new around the corner. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons. And if you have some other great FPV wing pilots you'd like me to know about, drop them down below in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. But I've been talking for way too long now, so I'll leave you guys with this. Keep ripping, keep wrecking, and keep trying new shit.